Hi guys, welcome back to Fairies Tutorials. In today's episode, we'll be looking at food, nutrition, and health, and we'll be exploring the content, planning meals for different groups featuring vegetarians. Stay tuned. Content 3: Meal planning, preparation, and dining. And in today's session, we're exploring contents 7 and 8, which is entitled Vegetarians. Now, let's take a look at our focus points. So, we'll be looking at a definition of vegetarians, the different types of vegetarians, namely lacto-vegetarians, lacto-ovo-vegetarians, and also vegans. And we'll explore their nutritional requirements as well as suitable foods eaten by each vegetarian. And also we'll look at some sample menus suited for different types of vegetarians. Now let's get started, and we're kicking things off with an overview of vegetarians. Now, vegetarians are people who consume plant-based foods as their protein sources and exclude meat, poultry, and fish. Vegetarians practice different degree of strictness depending on the beliefs of the individual or the belief of the family. Some people or some vegetarians eat animal products such as milk and eggs, but not the animal flesh, while others only eat plant foods. Good. Now let us look at the different types of vegetarians. So we're looking at 4 types today. The first one is vegan. So a vegan is also known as a strict vegetarian, and they eat only plant foods. So they only eat foods of plant origin, right? No animal products, no animal flesh, only plant foods, right? So those are vegans, or we may say strict vegetarians. Now a lacto-vegetarians, as that name suggests, lacto coming from lactose, these person eat plant foods plus milk and other dairy products, right? So lacto, as lactose coming from the sugar in milk, lacto-vegetarians, they eat plant foods plus dairy products and milk. Good. Now the next vegetarian we're looking at is an ovo-vegetarian. Now an ovo-vegetarian includes eggs as the only source of animal proteins, right? So the ovo-vegetarian consume plant, and the only source of animal proteins are eggs. Now the final vegetarian that we're looking at is lacto-ovo-vegetarians, and if you notice, lacto-ovo are both coming from lacto-vegetarian and ovo-vegetarian. So guess what? A lacto-ovo-vegetarian consumes milk and dairy products, as you see lacto there, and also eggs in addition to plant foods. Now it is very important to note that there are different types of vegetarians, such as the pesco-vegetarians that only eat fish and plant products, and the polo-vegetarian that only eat poultry and plant products as well. But we're focusing on these 4. So we're looking at vegans, strict vegetarian, they only consume foods from plant origin, only plant-based foods, right? No, they are the strict vegetarians. There's the lacto-vegetarians. They consume dairy products and milk as well as plant foods. There's the lacto-ovo-vegetarian. They consume dairy products as well as eggs and what? Vegetables. And also the ovo-vegetarian, that their only animal source for proteins are eggs, along with plant products. Good. So we have 4 there. Now, let us look at planning meals for the different types of vegetarians, and we're starting off with vegans, right? So remember that vegans are what? Awesome, strict vegetarians. So we're going to look at the sample of a breakfast menu, some snacks options that we may have, and also what a dinner menu for a vegan will look like. So remember that a vegan only consumes plant-based products. They are strict vegetarians, right? So let us look at the breakfast. So we have here in our correct order of how we should write up our breakfast. Remember, even though the question, your exam question may ask you to plan for a specific group, such as vegetarians here, we also have to remember the principles of menu planning, right? So we have to ensure that our items are written in the correct order, as well as with the capital letters and past tense where necessary. All right, now let us go through the breakfast menu. So we have orange juice there, then peanut porridge with, it's very important for us to put the type of milk that we're using, or some persons may say it's coconut juice actually, right? No, so we have peanut porridge with coconut milk there, baked beans, and also fried dumplings, which is a suitable carbohydrate for breakfast, and also mint tea. So we went herbal because we're staying away from any form of dairy products that we may have used, that we could dairy products option for beverages, right? Let's put it that way. Good. Now for the snack options, they could have fruits, they could have fruit smoothies, fruit or vegetable salad, or some wheat crackers, right? And then for dinner, we have curried tofu. Now, those of you who are unsure what tofu is a textured vegetable protein, that acronym TVP, and it is manufactured from soybeans, right? So it's actually manufactured to look like meat substitute, so to speak, right? So that would be their protein there. Next for dinner menu would be carbohydrates, and we have coconut herb rice. For the vegetables, we have sauteed cabbage and carrots. And for the drink, which is optional in a menu, but it's always nice to put a drink there, we have pineapple drink. And that is for the vegans, right? So all of these products, right? All of these products, if you notice, they are from plant sources. So even for the protein in the breakfast, where we have the baked beans, that is from the legumes and nuts food group. And then the baked beans provide us the major nutrient there is protein. All right. Now let us go a little further and look at the meal samples for lacto vegetarians. So who is a lacto vegetarian? Can you remind me who? If you said a lacto vegetarian is one who consumes dairy products with plant-based foods, you're indeed correct, right? Now let us look at these menu options. So know that we can add milk and milk products. Let us note the difference. Good. So for this breakfast, we're starting off with our fruit or our fruit juices, and for our fruit we have melon slices. Could have also been like melon juice, right, or orange juice. Good. Or so our next thing would have been our cereal, and we have peanut porridge with milk. I didn't specify the milk because if the examiner is looking on and they say milk, well, you're planning for a lactoover vegetarians, so the milk would have been suitable. Also, guys, we could have also have, for the vegan, we could also have peanut porridge with soy milk as well, right? So soy or almond milk, right? So those milk are plant-based products. Good. Now for the protein for the lacto vegetarians, we have sauteed veggie mince, and then we have roasted breadfruit there, as well as we have mint tea there as well. It could have been another herbal tea such as lemongrass, or it could be hot chocolate, because remember now we're dealing with lacto vegetarians, so we can include dairy in their hot beverages, right? Now for the snacks list, you notice that it's a little bit longer. So we have fruit smoothies, fruit or vegetable salad, and we have added yogurt and cheese, because remember they consume what? Dairy products and also milk. Good. Now let us look at the dinner option. So for the dinner, there is sweet and sour tofu, there's creamed potatoes, tossed vegetable salad with orange vinaigrette dressing, and also a tropical fruit drink. Good. Now let us look at the options for lactoover vegetarians. Who is a lactoover vegetarian, guys? Right, if you said dairy products and eggs along with plant products, you are correct. Now let us look at this breakfast. So we have orange pineapple juice, oatmeal with milk, vegetable omelette. So you notice that we're throwing the eggs in there. So we could even have scrambled egg, fried egg, poached egg, because we are catering for a lactoover vegetarian that does consume eggs as part of their diet. Good. There's also cheese, herb scones, the cheese there coming from dairy products as well, and we have hot chocolate. Now same snacks as similar to the lacto vegetarian, where we have the fruit smoothies, vegetable or fruit salad, the yogurt, the cheese, and the biscuits. Now let's take a look at the dinner menu. So we have sweet and sour veggie chunks, rice and peas, steamed broccoli and cauliflower, and also tropical fruit drink, right? Now remember that the drink is always optional, and this is a one course dinner menu, right? And please also note that when it's a cooked vegetable, you don't need to add a dressing. But if it's a raw vegetable, you need to add a dressing. If it's a dry heat cooking method, such as grilled or fried, you will need to have a sauce there as well. So even though they might tell us to plan for a particular group, whether it be pregnant and lactating mother, whether it be toddler, adolescents, the elderly, vegetarians, please remember when you're planning your meals to also adhere to the principles of planning meals and the rules of planning meals as well. Now let us look at the sample menu for ovo vegetarians. Good. So we're starting with breakfast. Remember that the ovo vegetarians include eggs and plant-based foods. Good. So there is grapefruit segments, there is cornmeal with coconut milk, cornmeal porridge with coconut milk, scrambled eggs, wheat toast, and also lemongrass tea. For the snacks, it's pretty much what we have there. We have been having all along without the dairy products. Good. And let's move on to the dinner. Now we have, for the protein, we have nut loaf with sweet and sour sauce, coconut rice and green peas, steamed broccoli and cauliflower, and also a tropical fruit drink. Lunch menu is pretty much like somewhat of a dinner menu, but a little lighter, right? Now if you're asked to plan lunch, you may include things such as salads, sandwiches, even soups can be had as well, and light menus, right? Now let us look at some sample menus for vegans, and we're looking at 1 course, 2 course, and also 3 course, right? Now the 1 course consists of your protein dish, your carbohydrate dish, and your green, leafy, or yellow vegetables, right? And your 2 course consists of an appetizer, which are finger foods used to open our appetite. So you may consume of the appetizer and the main course, or the main course and dessert, right? While a 3 course consists of appetizer, main course, and dessert. Now it is very important to note that there are many more types of courses, but we're only focusing on 3, right? Now let us take a look at the 1 course. So we have nut loaf with sweet and sour sauce, coconut rice and green peas, steamed broccoli and cauliflower. Now, to turn that, remember the juice there is optional. No, to turn that one course into two course, we've added coconut gizzard, right? We could have also added an appetizer, which we could have barbecue veggie mince balls with the main course as well, right? And for the three course, you see where we added an appetizer and the dessert. So remember, a one course is the main course. So we have what? The protein, the carbohydrate, the vegetables, right? And for two course meal, we can either have the appetizer and the main course, or the main course and dessert. And for the three courses, now then we can have what? First course, which is the appetizer, second course, the main course, and the third course would have been the dessert. Now, what I've added here is just a list of vegetarian foods that if you, I know sometimes even if you don't know, you may not know persons who are vegetarians, and you may kind of have it a little difficult to come up with a wider range of appetizers or plant proteins or even dessert items, right? So especially if we're planning for a vegan, when there is no eggs involved, no dairy products, just strictly plant products. Good. Now let us look at some examples of some appetizers that we may have. If you, for instance, you may be planning a 3-course meal or a 2-course meal, or even a 1 course, right? As it relates to the plant protein aspect of it. Now let us look at the appetizers. So we can have veggie mince balls, right? So veggie mince also came from, is a textured vegetable protein that came from soybeans. Good. So it is textured and manufactured to look like meat. So you may have veggie mince balls that is out there. You also have veggie chunks, right? So another appetizer option may be fruit salad, vegetable broth, mini vegetable wraps, even mini vegetable pizza, guys, vegan pizzas, vegetable roll-ups, plantain paradise roll-ups, veggie pinwheels, and bean dip with breadfruit chips. Now, all of those are plant-based appetizers. Good. For the plant proteins now, very important, baked beans, stewed peas, nut loaf. If you're serving nut loaf, you will have to have a sauce with it because the nut loaf, it's baked. Good. Stewed beans, sweet and sour tofu, curried tofu, or any other method that you may know of. Curried veggie chunks, sauteed veggie mince. For the dessert items, we can have peanut drops, or we may say peanut cake, coconut gizzards, coconut curls, vegan ice cream, cornmeal pudding, potato pudding. So we're in the ingredients meant ask for butter, you know that we can substitute with what? If you said margarine, you're correct, because remember that margarine are made from plants. Good. There is also fruit salad, poached pears or poached apples, as well as pineapple cups may be utilized as well. So this is just to build your vocabulary so that you can plan flexible meals. You will know examples of plant-based appetizers, plant proteins, and even dessert items without any animal products as well. All right, now it's time for your activity. Number 1, define the term vegan. Number 2, differentiate between a lactoover vegetarian and a lacto vegetarian, 4 marks, and also plan a 3-course dinner menu for a vegan. Now, based on our tutorial, you should be able to answer all these activities. Good. If there are any concerns, or please feel free to put them in the comment section and you'll get a feedback. Awesome. You've made it to the end of the video. Now, if you found this video useful, please share with your colleagues and your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your post notification bells so you can be notified when there's another upload. Thank you for making it Ferris Tutorials.